What are two research marketing tools that can help to boost your holiday campaign strategies this coming season? I've got this and more in this week's Biz Tip Tuesday. Let's get busy. Hey there. If you don't have a holiday campaign strategy, fear not. I will tell you how I can help you to get that done as well later on in today's series. But today I'm going to be answering a key question. What are two research marketing tools that can help to boost your holiday campaign strategies that I recently found out? And of course, when I find good deals, I like to be able to share them with my audience, friends, and my clients as well. And hey, if you don't know who I am Dr. Yam, your Keep It Simple coach. And you can find me over at keepitsimplecoach.info and inside of my Facebook group, Content Creation Tips and More for Solopreneurs, Freelancers, and Coaches over at smallbizsociety.com. And hey, if you have an idea, you're working full time and you want to transition from employee to entrepreneur, I got you covered over in the busy 9to5ers hive.com. So check me out there. And of course, as always, I always have my resources and my tools, the things that I use to run my business each and every day. And you can find similar tools, and I add on to them occasionally over inside of my website, /resources. And there you'll be able to find some of my key tools and my own applications, such as Content Latte, the digital cafe for entrepreneurs, where you can do websites, funnels, your email automation, and so much more. And then, of course, if you are looking for a social media management tool, I too got you covered there inside of Social Balance. And let's not forget, we've got to get our live and replay events for our webinar campaigns, and the Keep It Simple webinars is the resource for you. So today I'm going to answer that question. So what are the two tools? There's lots of tools out there, right? But I'm just going to focus on two of them today. So the first one that I'm going to be sharing with you is, believe it or not, you already have it and you don't even know it, and that's Google Trends. So when you go to trends.google.com, it is a part of your Google account. And it's probably something that we have overlooked over the years. I know I certainly had, but it's a free tool. So you know me and the free stuff, we get along really well. So I want to be able to share that with you. So give you a little tidbit about what is Google Trends. So when you think about Google Trends, aside from it being a free tool, it's a free tool that analyzes all of the popular Google searches in the terms that when people type in, like, I want to find something out, in real-time data. And that's really critical, right? Because you want to, and that's why it's called trends, right? So we want to be able to see what are a group or population of people typing in and looking for. And that's going to help you to decide, should I be writing about this? Should I be creating an offer that other people are finding interesting? Remember, the whole point about you running your business is all about providing a solution. So why not find out what are the trends that are out there and use this free tool? So I'm going to be demonstrating that for you at the same time. Now, keep in mind that when we think about a tool such as Google Trends, that like everything else, there's some pros and there's some cons, as it goes with everything else. But in addition to the fact that, yes, it's going to be showing you trends, it's showing you what people are searching for, both locally as well as nationally and even globally. So it was introduced back in 2006, and it's, again, popular trends and topics over time by location. And that's really critical, because as you start to think about how you want to create your audiences for your ads, be it Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, or TikTok for that matter, why not know what people are doing so that you know where you should be spending your money and how you could be kind of like optimizing your audiences as you are defining them for those campaigns that you're putting together. Did you know that even Google processes like 100,000 searches every second? So that means there are billions of searches that are taking place every day. And so there's a lot of data that's out there that you could be capitalizing on that you have not tapped into. So there's great thing is it's really easy to use. Another thing is that it's visually appealing, meaning it has charts. We all love charts and we like pictures. The more, the better. And then again, huge amount of data. Now, doesn't give you exact search volume numbers in a sense, but hey, can't have everything. It's free. It's Google. And then not all of the searches, which you'll see as we work through it, are going to be relevant to your topic. So that's why your keywords and stuff can be very useful in how you're really honing in. Sometimes it can be really broad and sometimes not. And then another great thing that I love is it's free and it does comparisons. So we're going to check that one out first. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick and take you on over. All righty, let me see if I can do it this way. That might be a better way of looking. Let's see. Now we'll do it this way. All right, so I'm going to pop over here on my screen this way too. And I'm going to start at the beginning. So once you go to trends.google.com, you'll need to log on as you so you can keep, it'll keep all of your information intact. So make sure you just log in and then you'll have your little image of yourself as knowing that you're in your Google account. Okay, so I'll get past all of that. Now, what is the world searching? So we have also, it kind of shares with you some of the trending things that are taking place. For instance, Taylor Swift and Kim Kardashian all the time. World Cup, these are things that other people have been. And of course, there's football going on, right? And this is a nice one because it even shows you football versus American football. And then what those trends are and even down to what they call sub-regions, which you'll also see as well. And so we're going to type in your topic. So I've been playing around quite a bit lately. So let's take, for instance, that if somebody wanted to type in, maybe you're in the health industry. I'm going to start with you guys first. So you're in the health industry, maybe you're a health coach. And so you may want to find out, well, what are people looking for trending that has to do with keto? Because that's a very popular process that people are adopting or at least considering or want to know more about, right? So we're going to type in keto. And what you'll also notice is that it'll have the search term for keto and it may have some other suggestions just based on what you typed in. So just know that that's what it's there for. So we're going to just type in keto. And it's going to do a quick search. And the thing that's great about this is it's going to show you for the past year the amount of information that's there. And again, the trends, right? So again, and also this works for any country, all right? So if you're in a different country, another part of the world, no worries. You can pick right here, say, living in Australia, so I'm gonna pick Australia. I'm in Argentina, it's gonna be the data for Argentina. So just know that you can modify your search that meets your particular needs. Now, again, you can set your parameters for the length of time. You can go back days, weeks, months, and even up to 5 years. There are even some more. I think that's the 2004, right? So if they have the data, they'll pull it up for you. So in this case, I'm just going to look at it for the past 12 months. And then there's all these different categories. Now, in this case, I'm going to be doing all of them, but you can just keep it down if you wanted to beauty and fitness, right? And then you can do your search if you want to do image searches, meaning do you want to see what types of pictures that people were getting as a result of putting it in, news articles, or if you want to do Google shopping, which is another great strategy tool we'll talk about in a minute. And then even YouTube searches. So if people are in YouTube, because who owns YouTube? Google does. So of course they're going to make the things connect together. Duh. So you have an opportunity even to select, well, what are people looking at on YouTube? So you can do the searches however you want. So I'm going to keep it simple with the web search. All right. So I've done that and it makes the adjustments as I'm doing it. And so now we can tell, again, the term was keto. And here over time, and there's a little bubble up here, so you can always kind of get an understanding. So here, that parameter of 100 isn't in numbers of people. So the numbers are going to represent the search interest relative to the highest point on the chart on any given region in time. So the value of 100 is the peak popularity of that term. And then the value of 50, or the midline, is going to be the term is half as popular. And then the score below or to 0 means that it's not enough data in for that particular one. So if there's anything that's at 0, that means there's really not enough data for it to even tell you anything, right? So just quick note on that. Now, we look at this data. Now, mind you, this is showing 12 months back. So last year, this time, it was fairly high. It was over the 50% popularity, right? So that means that people were really kind of interested. And then you'll notice, okay, we went down a little bit. Here's November. We got here December, a little bit more December. But guess what happened when we got to January and everybody did their resolution? And guess what was happening? It was the peak of the party. And so a lot of people were checking out, what about keto? And so you can see how that trended. And then it started to drop off. And I'm sure so did the resolutions. But again, the popularity seems to still be fairly high considering that it's above the midline. So what I say to me is anything above the midline is a good indication that it's still something that is still fairly popular. So that's something good to know. So why is this important? It's important so that when you're thinking about your keywords, when you're writing your blogs or you're updating your website, or you're even doing your SEO for your landing pages and such. And if you're not doing that, we'll need to talk about that on another show. But just know that these are those keywords that if people are looking for this type of information, you want to use it in your search engine optimization so that you can be coming up in those results yourself when they're searching for information that might be relevant to what you do. Now, so as a result of last year, this time, and this year, this time, it's not as popular, right? Just below the 50%. All right. So does that mean it's going to be trending back up again? It probably will repeat. Now, you can tell if it's a repeater because I could go back here and I can do past 5 years. And if I did the past 5 years and chunk it out, you'll notice that the peaks are usually around the same period of time. I could just assume that, right? Just out of the data analytics, right? So here again, we're at what? This is the January. Here we go. Again, January. Here again, it peaks back up January. But then it actually trends down, right? So that maybe is it that people are more informed now and they understand what keto is over 5 years? Probably so. There's still a population out there that still is inquiring about it, but not at the same rate of popularity. So that's how you would analyze your data. Now, you do have a button here that you can download the chart as a data for data yourself if you wanted to, so that you can use it for your own marketing materials. You can take the picture, and you can also there's a button here so that you can do an embed code, so you can copy the code and insert it onto a web page if you wanted to, so that you can bring some real information to your readers and embed it inside of your article if you wanted to. And then if you wanted to, you can also share the file as well out on social media as another way of connecting with your audience and saying, hey, check out this data. Isn't this interesting? Or just to cultivate a conversation. So there's lots of great ways that you can research and utilize the data for trends. Now, let's say now that we have this data, you also can look at it by interest by sub-regions. What does that mean? So remember, we said the United States was our main region, right? So that's going to be all this contiguous states, as well as our Hawaii and Alaska. And so now what this means is that people by region, what does this look like? So here are your top 5 regions that were researching keto. And again, we were back in the 5 years segment. I'm going to take it back to just the past 12 months. Okay. And now in the past 12 months, who are my top 5 states? Mississippi, Idaho, Kentucky, Arkansas, and Alabama. Now, Why is this helpful? When you go to do your targeted ads and you choose US and you're saying that I'm a health coach and I want to put a promotion out there, and it might be related to keto, or maybe an article that you want to say don't try keto, or things you need to know about keto before you decide, however you want to write your article. But guess who I want to get that article or that ad in front of? I'm going to put it in front of the people in Mississippi, Idaho, Kentucky, Arkansas, and Alabama, right? Because that is where the population in the US are trending. So you can also look at more subregions, but those like the top 5, and you can go further down the line if you want to. And then if there are any relevant or related topics to keto, you'll find those there. This is also, again, very helpful information. You can dig down deeper. And then these are also related queries. I mean, other people typed this in as well that was kind of relevant. So again, Lean Start Keto, these are brands or types, right? Someone did something on a keto 12-week challenge. And so there's a breakout component. So when you click on it, it explores more of what that is, and you can tap into that as well. So there's lots and lots of ways that you're able to delve into the use of the data and what it has to offer. Now I'm going to go back, hit my back button. And now that I have keto, now what if I said I want to compare the searches between keto and intermittent fasting, right? So now I'm going to type in intermittent fasting. See, I can type it in. There you go. And now I can do a comparison. I think you could do up to 4. So we're just going to keep it simple. Do 2. So here is a comparison, and it's giving you a flag. In this particular case, it's saying it's comparing the two. However, it's been the search results and the data themselves are measured differently. So just kind of note that you may not be comparing apples to apples. But check it out. There seems to be a similar trend. Look at your lines. There's a gap, obviously. Intermittent seems to be a little bit ahead of the pack as far as trending and what's more popular, possibly. More people are typing in intermittent fasting than they are keto. However, the similar trend over time is there's not that much of a difference. So that's really good, useful information for you to write about, talk about, put social media posts on, however you so choose. And again, the data is clear here as well. That again, when you do the breakdown, it's almost it's a pretty similar 60-40 in your split, right? So this may help you to decide, again, what topic should I be, I can kind of address and engage people across a region, a geographic region. And again, related topics as well, and then how those are faring out even regionally. So you have lots of information, again, that you're able to use. So let's try another topic. I wanted to do one. Okay, so here's one. I wanted to do one on like eyelashes. So for my estheticians that are out there, you should do eyelash extensions. And I'm going to do this one body contouring. This is for some of my clients who are in the health and wellness, if you would, field. So this one is body contouring. So those are in that service, those 2 services, right? And so let's compare the two. Is there a lot of or a difference? And again, is it a fair comparison? Really, probably not a fair comparison. So it tells you up front. And also how I typed it might be too. So, but notice if I type in Solabello, which is a brand, and it's even lower. Ooh. So there's different ways that you can skin your cat. Since they're not equal in data analysis, then you just you can look at them separately. So eyelash extensions, again, seems to be very high over time, but again, not a fair comparison. If I were to take eye extensions out, which would just hit the X button, and I just ran along. Do I have to do it separate? I think I have to do it separate. Okay, hold on a second. First one's got to be the first one. Now look what happens when I do body contouring. I don't want to do a comparison anymore, right? Now look how it's trending. It again, month to month. Is it the same? No, it dropped a little more from last year to this year. Okay, so again, doing your data analytics and looking at the data is going to be so helpful. And if you struggle with this, just take your time. The numbers don't lie. But if you find that, do the research, pull the data, and then if you want to, bring it into the Facebook group and let's analyze it together. But again, here's just another way of looking at the data. So look who's looking up for this type of topic, right? They're in the lower end of the states, not so much. And look who your top states are. And then here's other interests or similar interests you may want to be aware of if you're not using this or putting this in your offers or your services or you like pricing and all these other things, then that's something else that you can think of. All right, let's do another one. I was going to do one. Oh, I want to start a business. Now, check out how this search is done. So here, I want to start a business. You can then almost do like an ad, which will be plus, but I don't know. I have no idea, but I have no idea. All right, so this is like a two-part question. So there's people who said, I want to start a business. And then there are people who say, but I want to start a business, but I have no idea. So look at the analytics here. So it was a little low under the 25 percentile, under the 50 percentile, but then it starts peaking up again, start of the new year. So these are the people who really don't have a good sense about how to start a business. So these are my people. So what this also tells me is these are the times of year that are the peaker times and then when it drops off, right? This is Easter, mid-year. This is right after taxes, right before taxes, right? And then look, it starts to trend back up again and now it's dipped back down, but it's heading back up because it's the new year setting. Again, we'll talk later about what you should be doing if you don't already have an idea, how I might be able to help you. So here's how it looks over larger for geographics in your regions. And so these are the people who said, I want to start a business. These are my top states, right? So when I run my campaigns for my 5-day challenges and things like that, guess who's going to be targeting? Duh. And then here, I want to start a business, but I don't know how. And then how this, and all again, small business ideas, other topics and regions. And so again, you have a good sense for these areas and what you could do differently. So these are my real target babies, right? These are my ones here in the red. They are asking questions, they're in doubt, right? So I have great ways in which I can use all of this data. So that is one tool. So really, when you watch this video, after you've seen this today, I want you to visit it and then post your data results inside of our Facebook group. I know it's going to be really cool and it's fun at the same time. So you didn't know that researching could be so much fun, didn't you? All right, now let's tack into one other one. So this one is called Statista. So Statista, rather, is a .com, is again another one. This one is really about statistics. Now, why is this useful information? I'm going to tell you why. The reason here is this is great for your social post. So for those of you, you want to be able to say, you know what, you remember, you want to come across as the expert and you want to be educating your people, right? So when we think about your social balance, and again, visit over here at socialbalance.co. And the whole premise, all of you know about my product. And if you don't, you can check out socialbalance.co. And there I talk about the social balance framework, and then how you can have balanced content so you could be putting things out there for your audience. And one of the things that keeps people informed, people love data. They love pictures. They like to know what are some of the things happening, and you could be bringing that information to them. And the way you do that is with statistics. And so it's just, again, cool, fun information, useful information for yourself as well as for your followers. So let's check out that one. I'm going to send this on over. Alrighty. So here, I'm going to go back to the home page. This one is free. There is a freemium version, right? You can have access to a lot more of the features and functions, but some of the basic stuff to me is more than useful information if you ask me. Try the free first. If you feel like you need to have more information than the freemium, then of course, go for it. But again, empowering people with data. Data is powerful and data don't lie. Okay? Now, you can lie on the data, but the data itself is not a lie. All right. Now, let's check out how we'll use this one. Okay, here we go. All right, I just want to make myself. All right, so the great thing about Statista, hope I'm pronouncing it right, but with Statista is that it's a hub of visual data, which is, again, good. Market research reports, and again, statistics. It's going to collate that data for you with several type of reputable sources, right? Turning them into graphs and charts for you so you can easily digest it, because what do we like? You like pictures, and your readers like pictures, so why not make it easy? And because it's data is continuously being updated, you're going to be able to come back to it often and see some charts year after year to see how the trends may be changing. So you have an opportunity from a trending perspective on the statistics. You can be looking at that. So the stats that the data has are on any topic that you can imagine. It's a great way for you to discover the consumer behaviors and marketing trends. So for both for service and for product-based individuals, there's no matter what your business is, you're going to be able to find statistical data that's going to be helpful to getting it. So it's easy, again, to use for searching for a particular topic. And then it's easily the functionality is really nice. I found it to be very useful. You don't have to be a techie or brainiac or geek in order to find the reports and get things down. So it's great user face ability and easy for searching for the data. But like I said, the free plan is limited. And sometimes, depending on the visuals, may not be the greatest. But again, hey, basic is free. I think if I remember, the premium costs about maybe like $59 a month. Now, if you're doing some research for a client and stuff, and you feel like you want to invest in at least for the month or whatever, then get it for the month, charge it to the customer. That's how we do things. All right. So let's check out Statista. All right. So okay, so we're going to go right here. I'm going to do a quick search, and let's see what else I'm going to do for this one. Let's type in candles. I'm a candles person, so we're going to type in candles. Well, let's do a search. Statistics. And so do a little shizzle. And here's the thing that's really interesting for my candle makers out there, or somebody who has or some related type of a product industry, right? Here is telling you leading scents candle vendors in the US based on sales. This is good information. We're getting ready to go into the season. So you may think that there are certain scents that you like, but are those the scents that the buyers are looking and are out to buy, right? So here, this is 2021 data, very useful data for going into this year. Same thing here, home fragrances by product type, right? The sales of that is telling you what people are buying. And then again, air fresheners, candle consumption. This is consumption. So people are buying candles. What was that like for the last, a 7-year trend analysis? That's what this kind of data is sharing, all right? Over 7 years, that's what you can look for that one. So let's just check out leading scent candles vendors have contributed to, right? So I can tap into this. It's doing its due. So these are the different vendors, and these are all private labels. Guess who those private labels are? You. Small business owners who are creating hand-made candles, those are the ones that are trending and have the bulk of the population. Not Yankee candles, not new brands, not Empire candles, you guys. Isn't that great to know that you are the trend? So we can scroll down, and here you're able to, so that's one bit of information. And then if I think there was one here on the scents, leading scents. Okay. So I think this might be more of an article. Let's see if it comes down. Yeah, I think it's going to tell. Oh, these are private label brands. Oh, extreme. Okay. So that's one way of looking at that particular data. Now, let's go back. Let's type in another statistic. So in this case, let's say social media usage. Now, why would this be important? Depending on how the data is being broken down, there may be useful bits for how you may be perceiving your target audience, where they're hanging out, or how you may be putting your efforts in the right places. So there's different ways in which they may be breaking down the use of social media and the networks and the different bits of information for the types of users that are out there. So you're able to look at the data in a couple different ways. So they've broken it down. They've given you an overview. They give you global network penetrations, the social media revenues from the different companies. And then this was just worldwide digital population. So if we looked at that, let's see how that breaks down the data. It gives us some statistics that you may find to be useful. So there's internet users and social media users. Notice that there's not much of a difference, right? As far as the number of users worldwide. This is in the billions. So you can write a simple social post is like, did you know? Did you know that there are 5.5 billion people who use the internet worldwide as of July 2022? And then you're able to break down, and they have some other, you can do hit or read more, right? This is just global internet usage and some other pieces. You can pull this bit of information out, make several different social posts, embed it in your social blog, and be able to enlighten your audiences, and or use this information for how you will interface on the internet or using the social media. So it's different ways of looking at the information. There's infographics that are here. I love these. I think the other thing that's great about their graphical stories is they're great exemplars or models that you could create similar data yourself. So even the trending data or the data you find here, you can utilize it. So if you happen to be into climate change and nature and conservation, then you may want to share this particular stat. There's other ones that are out there, voting supporters, early voting right now, polio, heat cost. So look, these great information that are great visuals that you can find and use for your social post embedded inside of your blog post. And again, whatever fits your message and your purpose. So you can always just type that information in. And I'm trying to see. These are daily ones. These are the ones that they post themselves. So you can also find it by different topics. And I'm trying to see if where's this? I thought I used it before. So if you're a travel agent, maybe online travel platforms make all hotels cheaper. So here again, how that data may be useful for you to inform your people. And then here, entrepreneurial freedom defines distribution strategies in hotel businesses. That could be something I might want to find useful, right? So there's quite a few that are here. You have an opportunity to tap in look at them. But again, great examples of how they use data and create charts, and you can create something very similar using your Canva or your content create Vista Create platforms themselves. So as you can see, there's different ways that you're able to take data, use it for your research, either for creating content, for creating your blog, not blogs, but for creating ads and using this data so you'll be more informed, better informed. You can optimize your money if you're going to put it in ad spend, or you're going to optimize your search engine optimization because you're going to use better keywords to see like what is really trending and using it out there and apply it to your business. So again, those are my 2 tools for how you can do some research for your marketing for your upcoming holiday campaigns. I hope you found this to be helpful. Again, know that you can find me over at keepitsimplecoach.info. And please, if you haven't already been a part of our community, join us over at Content Creation Tips and More. Type in smallbizsociety.com. It'll take you right there. Answer 3 questions, and you are in like Flynn. Myself and my team will be there to greet you. And don't worry if you have not started your business yet, but you want to. You have an idea, but you just might be stuck, and you want to make that transition from employee to entrepreneur. Head on over to the busy9to5ershive.com, another Facebook group where I support you and your dreams. Until next time, this is Dr. Yam, your Keep It Simple coach. Let's get busy. Bye-bye.